Despite the fact that she turns left, the opposite direction of the hospital is 50 feet away because traffic is too heavy. And despite the fact that Cherry Walker is killed, and this defendant takes Cherry to a remote area and dumps her body out and sets her body on fire with lighter fluid that she just happened to have in her car. And despite the fact that the next day the defendant goes to the White House Police Department, all happy, and makes up a story so she can pump the PD for information while Cherry Walker's body lays in the dirt and heat in June, burned up. If you really believe that, then all the talking in the world is not going to change your mind. The hardest part about that, though, about what she told you, is you deserve better than that. You deserve the truth. And I'll tell you someone who deserves it more than anybody else. Cherry Walker. That is an insult to her and to her family. This defendant is not only someone that can burn somebody with lighter fluid. This defendant is someone that can go to the White House Police Department while the body of Cherry Walker's out there. You know, that's, for lack of a better word, kooky. Isn't it? You just dumped a body, killed someone and dumped a body, and set it on fire. And you are so manipulative and paranoid and cunning that you will walk right into the police department and pump them for information.
Kim Cargill knew that Paula Wheeler knew about Cherry's subpoena, that she talked with Pertina Young about it, that she'd given her a copy of it, that she'd made notes in Cherry's file about it. Who's going to be the very first suspect? Who's going to be the prime suspect? Kim Cargill. And she knows that. Why would she go out hours later and kill the person who's going to be the first witness to testify against her, or a critical witness to testify against her? Why would she do that? Does that make any sense at all to anybody? Why would she go out and advertise this plan that she's going to kill Cherry Walker? Knowing that Pertina Young knows about it, that it's documented in Cherry's file, that the subpoena has been given to the supervisor, that she's talked to Paula Wheeler multiple times about it, why would she do that? The court has instructed you that all persons are presumed innocent, and they may not be convicted of any crime unless each element of the offense is proven to you beyond a reasonable doubt. Now, Mr. Bingham said how simple this is. It boils down to the testimony of Dr. Land versus Kim Cargill. And I told you we're going to talk about that. But remember this, it's each element beyond a reasonable doubt. And Mr. Bingham talked about you don't have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt the unimportant stuff, the little stuff, and he's right. But you better be able to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt on the major things, the critical areas, the critical elements, like was this a homicide? Because I'll tell you, and I told you in opening, Ms. Cargill, we don't get up here and contest things that that shouldn't be contested, that aren't an issue. The issue in this case has been, is, and always will be, did she commit the murder of Cherry Walker? That's the issue. The things that aren't at issue is, she talked to Cherry Walker about the subpoena. She talked to Paula Wheeler about the subpoena. She took Cherry Walker to dinner that night. She was with her when she died. And she took her to Oscar Burkett Road, and she dumped that body, and she did set it on fire. Because she was panicked and knew how bad it would look, and knew that nobody would believe her. So the only issue is, did she kill Cherry Walker or not? And it's not that simple of an issue, despite what Mr. Bingham said.